Welcome back to Project Breakthroughs. I'm David Dubé, and in this episode, we're talking about regret. Now, if you're like me, you've done many things that you probably regret. I know I have, and it sucks. It's not good. But there's things that some of us continually do day in and day out, and that is to live with that regret, and it's eating you up. It's consuming you. Now, whether you have regret that's consuming you, you have past regrets that you haven't even thought about in a long time, and now that we're talking about it, you're thinking, oh crap, there is something I do regret. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to release and relinquish yourself from that regret from this point forward so you can begin to live the life that you truly want and desire for yourself. So what do you do, David? How do we get through this? Well, first I want to talk about the adversity of your health when it comes to holding on to regrets in your life. Regrets, over time, with the emotional compounding inside of you of the thoughts of them, the focus on them. Now, some of us have moved on from our regrets, but many of us hold on to them and think about them constantly. But there's something that you can do to relinquish that from you, because I've seen this so many times where people who hold on to their regrets end up very sick, very ill, whether it's just an illness or a long-term disability, all because of things that they're holding on to from their past. Our emotions, compounded over time, become physical ailments. And until you heal from them, until you relinquish them, will you actually be healed physically from those ailments. Now, can I link those things? I can't. I can't for you. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if there is something that's wrong with you. But the idea is that over the course of time, it can destroy a person. My mother is an example of just this. She died of cancer to the intestines because of the hate that she held from the regret that she had in her own life. And I want that to not happen to you or anyone else that you know and love and care about. So how do we get through this? What can we do? Well, if you have regrets in your life, here's what I want you to do. Grab a piece of paper and a pen, something to write with. And I want you to write out all those regrets that you have. Write the situation, write what happened, write how it happened, how you feel about it. Release it from you personally. Get rid of it. Get it out of your system. Now, after you get that out of your system and you've written that out, next thing I want you to do is, if there is a person in which was harmed or hurt in this thing of regret, maybe it was you that was harmed, or if it was someone else that maybe you harmed, or you feel has been harmed by this, write a letter to them. So if you were harmed because of a situation you were in, apologize to yourself for that situation. Apologize to yourself. Ask for forgiveness from yourself for that situation. Be specific. If it's someone else, write an apology to that someone else. Mom, I'm so sorry I did XYZ. I'm so sorry. Confess. Ask for forgiveness. And then forgive yourself for the situation. No matter what happened to you, whether someone did something to you, happened by accident to you, forgive yourself for being there, for experiencing that situation, just as well as someone acting upon you and creating that situation in your life. You forgive them and you forgive yourself. It's a must. Write a letter to all the people involved in this. Now, if you want to actually give the person that letter, you can actually postmark it to them and put it in an envelope and send it away to them. If you don't want to do that, or they're no longer around for this letter, the apology, or the forgiveness letter, then here's what I want you to do. I want you to hold a ritual where you go out. If you have a fire pit, this is a great place to do it. Do it someplace where nothing else is going to catch fire. And I want you to burn both the incident, the writing out of everything that happened to you, and I want you to burn the apology or the forgiveness letter. Whether it's 1 or 10 or 20, doesn't matter how many events it is and how many of those things you've gone through, I want you to burn those things. Now, before you actually go out and just burn those things, there is one extra step you must do, and that is write out what you learned from that experience. What personally have you learned from going through those experiences of pain and suffering and regret? Write that out. Write it out. I learned that I will. I learned that I am. I learned that, etc., etc. Write all of those things out. What did you learn from going through those experiences? And then burn the other things, or mail off the letters and burn the incident report. And the reason you do that is because it relinquishes the energy that you have tied up to it. Because what is it inside of you? It's a poison that's infecting your body, and you must release that poison. Now, there's one extra thing you must do now that you've done all of that. And that next thing you must do is write how you want your life to go from this point forward. What do you want in your life from this point forward? Write that out. Write out your goals. Write out your achievements. Write out the things that you want. Whether this small or this big, I want you to write all of those things. Where you want to live, how you want to live, the things you want in your life, who you want in your life, who you want to surround your life with. How has that changed you and motivated you to get these things? And now write a roadmap for the things that you want in your life, having known and learned the lessons you learned from the regrets you have. That is what I want you to do. And then every day from this point forward, look at that list. Those things that you want, look at them every single day. Say them aloud every single day and do something to achieve those things every single day. We will talk more about the future stuff in other videos. I'm sure I'll talk more about the past things as well. With that being said, I'm David Dubé with Project Breakthroughs, and I'll catch you in the next episode.